What a beautiful day you have made, Lord. Truly a day to rejoice in, a day of sunshine and bright blue skies, a great way for a day to begin. And as the day advances, Jesus, I know that all will remain the same, because you will hold back the clouds by the power of your great name. Even during the darkest day, Jesus, your light will override, for your power is far greater than the darkness, easily pushing it off to the side. And each day this light gets brighter, as each day it brings more into view. The sunshine, the flowers, the plush green trees, all of the beautiful things created by you. First time I read the Bible, I was 18 years old and I was in jail, and I had some time to kill in there for a while, so there was a Bible in the cell, so I picked it up and I started to read it, and more or less to kill time. And I wasn't too impressed with what was in there at first. I really didn't see any of it that could help me at all. Alcohol and drugs were the key thing in my life. That's the only thing that I lived for. I actually worshipped them. Everything I did was focused towards it. When I worked, it didn't count up as money. It counted up as how many beers I could drink or how much crack cocaine I could buy. It was more of the quantity of what my addiction was more important than food or housing. I had managed to move out from under the bridge into this cockroach-infested housekeeping room, and my idea was to lock the doors and just be in there by myself, and who cares what happens, right? And so I had the lights all out and the candle burning and the curtains closed and the door bolted shut. And as I reached over to grab the crack pipe to load some in to smoke it, something grabbed me from the back of the neck and threw me on the ground. And next thing you know, I was down on the floor on my hands and knees, and tears were just pouring out of my face like a river. I'd never cried like that before in my life. And what had happened was, after crying for about 10 minutes, everything went totally quiet, and a voice said, "John, this is not what I want you to do with your life. Stop." And I realized at that point that I wasn't stoned anymore or drunk. I straightened right up, and I knew that that was the voice of the Lord. And I went to bed and I left my drugs behind. Well, I knew once I accepted Jesus as my Savior in my life that I really all of a sudden got a hunger to really get to know who He was. When I walked in the doors of the church for the first time in 2 years, I think it was before that, I could just feel this warmth of the Spirit just come down upon me, and then everybody just greeted me at the door. It was so great. And not only did they greet me at the door, but they started to walk with me in my walk, and they started to help me, and they prayed with me, and they encouraged me. And Pastor Dave and Pastor Cheryl are just like a mom and dad to the flock, and there's such amazing learning that I've been able to acquire through there, amazing chances to share with others on what I've gone through to help them out too. Yeah, Coastal Church is my home. It's a place where I feel comfortable. It's a place where I know I'm amidst a family that really loves me.
I was praying for a husband for around about 18 years, and I put my faith in God and grow up more. And I know what's hard, but when I meet John, something happened in my heart. And say, okay, God, I trust in you. You know what happened now. I know that it's in my dream, Mary, and you have many things for me, and you have a beautiful plan for me.
We owe our relationship to God. I know I owe my life to God, and if He wouldn't have saved me, I would have never have met Elsa. And Coastal Church and UGM are a big part of that. And so for me, it's been special to serve at Coastal Church for years by myself as a single person, but to me, to be married with a person that loves to serve the Lord like I do is like Elsa said, it's something special. One of the gifts that God gave me since I've came to Christ was the ability to write poems. And all of a sudden, one time I was I was helping out in the kitchen, and I was filling up jugs of water, ice water. These words just kept coming through my mind. One sentence just kept coming and coming and coming. And finally I decided, well, I better do something about this, and I wrote it down, and then another sentence followed, and another one followed. And it wasn't too long before I had a 6-verse song. Actually, it was a song. It wasn't really complete rhyming poetic yet. Now I went from starting off with a few poems where I've written over 2,000 poems in the last 6 years. I've got over 500 people on this ministry all over the world. At first it was a little hard to really visualize somebody dying on the cross for me and going through what the Lord did. But as I was reading Isaiah 53 and the description that is so well portrayed in there, where Jesus was being condemned and ignored, and a lot of things that happened to me in my life that brought me where I was, but he went that extra bit there, and he went to the cross and died for me so he could bring me out of that type of past. The way I look at the life that I used to live is a perfect example of what sin is. But I can see that it doesn't make a difference what kind of sin we've been in. I also see that the Lord can forgive us for that. As you hung upon the cross, Jesus, and you gave up your final breath, that breath was meant for me, Lord, to breathe into a soul so full of death, so that I could live a life, O Lord, far greater than the one that once was viewed, reborn as a child of the living God, totally redeemed, rebuilt, renewed. Because you took my place, Jesus. You received what was mine to take. Even death has lost its grip on me. My eyes may close, but my spirit shall always be awake. And today I stand in awe, my Lord, of all of the wonders that you can do. My life will never be the same, Jesus, now that I have surrendered it all, my Lord, to you.